Now again, for those of you that just wanted to sell your place and do a balloon payment or take a payment, you know, and just hold it for a couple years, yeah, it's problematic. But like I said, if you take the initial rate of interest, that's fixed for 5 years, but then you can adjust it 2% a year up to a maximum of 6%. So, you know, again, if you have a 5% loan to start with, you know, eventually, many years from now, that could be up to 11%. And there's plenty of people out there that will say, hey, you know, 11%, they're either going to refinance and pay me off, or else I'll collect 11%, and that ain't so bad, you know. So for those that want to give those types of loans and actually, you know, do it that way, I mean, you just have to comply. If you don't want to become a loan officer yourself, you just have to find one that will underwrite the loans for you.
Thank you very much. Was there one more? Last one.
Are there any other penalties other than up to the 3 years of payments might be subject to?
Not that I'm aware of, no. No, as far as, I haven't seen any criminal penalties or anything like that.
I mean,
Yeah.
as far as like property, the deeds, or anything like that, I mean, if somebody's looking to purchase it, do they automatically get the deed, or I don't know, there's just payments at that point?
Not that I've seen, no.
Mark will tell you in a year or two.
Yeah, I mean, this is new. It's not new in that this actually came about in July. It takes effect January 10th. So there's a lot of unanswered questions, you know, in my opinion, sometimes they keep it that way with a lot of unanswered questions because then they can come back and revisit it and add more stuff, you know. So, but you know.
14,000 pages wasn't enough.
Yeah, but you know, then they can come back to it and add more regulations and more restrictions. So it's basically meant to make all individuals giving loans follow the same rules as the banks have to now, except with very narrow exceptions if you're just doing one time here or there. So like I said, if you could actually do up, you know, several loans. If you have one loan in your individual name, one loan in your wife's, one in your LLC, one in your wife's LLC, you know, there's ways to do up to a certain amount, and most people aren't going to do more than, you know, 6, 7 loans anyways. But if you're in that business, you know, I would just find yourself a good mortgage loan originator and team up with them and have them underwrite the loan for you and follow all the guidelines that you need to. Have an attorney prepare your all your documents, your truth in lending. You know, attorneys usually go to Doc Magic anyways. It's a website that kind of does all that stuff for you. So, you know, but I don't suggest doing all that yourself because there's a lot of stuff. But, you know, it's not as expensive as you think, but it is a lot more cumbersome than we've been operating under previously.
Mark, is there any possibility of this being overturned? Because I think I heard that the realtors are fighting this.
Okay, from what I've heard, it's going to be very, very, very difficult to overturn this. The way you would overturn it is stop the funding of the CP, what's that acronym? Consumer Financial Standards Board. So they have funding. So I guess if Congress or the Senate or whatever, however they vote, if they decided that they didn't want this anymore and that it was a bad law, by defunding that entity, that would basically, you know, kill it. But I don't know that, you know, I think it's here to stay. I wouldn't count on it being withdrawn. I think it's going to be here to stay, at least for the foreseeable future.
Anybody else? Got 1 minute, 2 minutes? Here, a round of applause for Mark.
Thank you.
And there's some handouts that are going to be passed around that will kind of summarize. Oh, you already got them. Okay.